Sometimes you need to reform reforms. You need to make sure we're putting our money where mouth is. It needs to be a collective effort in order to bring out the best of the individual, but that takes a degree of investment. The problem is not with I want to be clear, it's not with asking for data and accountability. It's actually just trying to create the flexibility that allows schools and teachers to do their best work. To really, the larger goal is to create happy, healthy, productive citizens. And everyone's going to be different. You can't standardize the soul. And I don't mean to sound too sort of up here about it, but at the end of the day, that's what we're talking about. And we do need to think about it differently as a democratic republic. We really do.
Well, are we looking at the right data, right?
Well, yeah.
Are our kids happy? Do our kids want to go to school? Right? I mean,
right.
That as a parent, my kids, when they hit third grade, stopped wanting to go to school anymore.
How did you deal with that?
I mean, at first I opt my kids out of the tests, and I also specifically opt them out of all the practice tests because it's not just the testing time that you spoke of. There's now entire months where kids just take practice tests. And I have my kids read literature instead of passages, right? So that they
crazy dreamer.
Right. But I mean, that's with my parent hat
yes.
on, right? But it's always a struggle for me because I know my choice to opt out my kids has an impact on their school, has an impact on their teacher, right? And so a lot of parents, really struggle with, how do I make this decision as an individual?
You're uniquely informed.
Right. So I think it is one of the things that we've, as a union, have been really focused on is pushing experiential hands-on learning.
Yes.
Right. And the more we can bring that type of learning back, that's the stuff that brings joy back to the classroom, right? It's the thing that makes kids want to come to school. And it's the stuff that helps kids find their thing, whatever the thing is that's going to light them up and have them engaged.
Well,
so that's what we are pushing.
And experiential learning, and there's so many different ways that can manifest. We know, the vocational schools that some people are encouraging, right? I mean, the idea that this isn't standardized. It reminds me, the reason I'm smiling is, it reminds me of someone hired Mr. Rogers, God bless him, Squirrel Hill, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh. They asked him to write a dissertation about how to relate to kids. This wasn't teachers, because teachers don't need this. It was just more standardized profession. And he said something like, "Remember, you were a kid once too." And what do we all learn? I mean, we all learn in different ways. And it takes some of us quite a long time to figure out what that combination. But at the end of the day, experiential learning is what's stickiest, isn't it? Because it's engaging. You're using multiple senses. You're not being told. You're learning by doing. And so we should be encouraging that kind of non-standard but more full 360 approach to education.